Have you ever wondered why some people spend hundreds of dollars every year on probiotic supplements, yet they still struggle with bloating, indigestion, fatigue, brain fog, skin problems, or even hair thinning? What if I told you that in many cases, adding more bacteria isn't the first problem to solve? And what if one simple spice sitting in your kitchen could help create a healthier gut environment naturally without relying on expensive probiotic capsules? Today, we're going to challenge one of the biggest myths in the health industry. The idea that everyone needs probiotics every single day has become incredibly popular. Walk into any pharmacy or health food store, and you'll find shelves packed with probiotic products promising better digestion, stronger immunity, clearer skin, and more energy. But here's what most advertisements don't tell you: a healthy gut isn't simply about adding more bacteria. It's about creating the right environment where beneficial microbes can thrive while harmful bacteria stay under control. Think of your gut like a beautiful garden. If weeds have completely taken over, planting more flowers won't solve the problem. First, you have to restore balance in the soil and reduce the weeds that are preventing healthy growth. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your digestive system contains trillions of microorganisms that work together like a complex ecosystem. Some bacteria produce vitamins, support your immune system, help regulate inflammation, and even influence hormones involved in metabolism and hair growth. Others, when they become too abundant, can produce toxins, damage the intestinal lining, increase inflammation, and interfere with nutrient absorption. This imbalance is known as dysbiosis, and it can develop from years of processed foods, excess sugar, chronic stress, poor sleep, repeated antibiotic use, alcohol, and a low-fiber diet. What the research shows is that simply swallowing probiotics doesn't always fix dysbiosis. In fact, many probiotic strains never permanently colonize the gut. They may provide temporary benefits, but if the underlying environment hasn't changed, the imbalance often returns once the supplement is stopped. That's why today's discussion is so important. We're going to explore why one powerful culinary spice has attracted growing scientific attention for its ability to naturally discourage harmful bacteria while supporting a healthier gut environment. More importantly, you'll learn why improving your gut isn't just about digestion. It affects inflammation, metabolism, immune function, nutrient absorption, energy production, healthy aging, and even the health of your hair follicles. By the end of this video, you'll understand why fixing the environment inside your gut may be far more valuable than simply buying another probiotic bottle. I'll also share practical morning routines, nutrition strategies, and daily habits that help beneficial bacteria flourish naturally. And if you're someone who enjoys evidence-based health advice that's actually practical and easy to apply, consider subscribing. Every week, we break down the latest nutrition and longevity science into simple tools you can use to improve your health naturally. Let's begin by clearing up one of the biggest misconceptions in digestive health. Many people believe probiotics are like tiny superheroes. You swallow a capsule, billions of beneficial bacteria enter your gut, and suddenly everything gets better. It's an appealing idea, but human biology is much more sophisticated than that. What the research shows is that your gut microbiome is more like a rainforest than a fish tank. In a fish tank, you can simply add more fish. But in a rainforest, every plant, insect, fungus, and microorganism depends on the environment around it. Temperature, moisture, nutrients, sunlight, and competition all determine which species survive. Your gut works the same way. You already have trillions of bacteria living inside your digestive tract. Many of them are incredibly beneficial. They help digest dietary fiber, produce important compounds called short-chain fatty acids, support your immune system, manufacture certain vitamins, regulate inflammation, and even communicate with your brain through what's known as the gut-brain axis. But here's the problem. If your daily lifestyle continually damages this ecosystem, simply adding a few billion bacteria from a supplement may have only a temporary effect. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're trying to fill a bucket with clean water, but the bucket has several holes in the bottom. You can keep pouring more water in, but until you repair the holes, the bucket never stays full. That's exactly what happens when someone spends money on probiotics while continuing to eat a diet high in ultra processed foods, refined sugar, excessive alcohol, and very little fiber. Add chronic stress and poor sleep, and you've created an environment where harmful microbes gain the advantage. Here's what's really going on inside your body. When harmful bacteria begin to dominate, they can produce substances that irritate the lining of your intestines. At the same time, beneficial bacteria often decrease because they aren't receiving the nutrients they need. The protective mucus layer becomes weaker, inflammation rises, and the gut barrier may become less effective at keeping unwanted substances out of the bloodstream. This imbalance doesn't just stay in the digestive system. Inflammatory signals produced in the gut can influence your metabolism, your immune system, your energy levels, and even your skin and scalp. Poor gut health may reduce the absorption of important nutrients like iron, zinc, biotin, vitamin B12, magnesium, and protein, all of which play important roles in maintaining healthy hair growth and normal cellular function. Research over the past several years has also shown that each person's microbiome is remarkably unique. That's one reason why the exact same probiotic supplement can help one person while providing very little benefit to another. Your existing microbiome, diet, medications, age, stress level, and lifestyle all influence how your gut responds. This doesn't mean probiotics are useless. In certain situations, such as after specific antibiotic treatments or for some digestive conditions, particular probiotic strains have shown measurable benefits. But the evidence also suggests they are not a universal solution for everyone, and taking them without addressing the underlying causes often leads to disappointment. Instead of asking, which probiotic should I buy? A better question is, why did my gut become unbalanced in the first place? That shift in thinking changes everything. Rather than constantly adding more bacteria, your first goal should be creating an environment where beneficial microbes naturally thrive. That means feeding them the nutrients they need while making life much harder for the harmful bacteria that compete with them. And this is where one ordinary kitchen spice becomes incredibly interesting. Scientists have been studying its natural compounds because they appear to help suppress certain undesirable microbes while supporting a healthier microbial balance. It's not a magic cure, and it's certainly not a replacement for a healthy diet. But when combined with the right lifestyle habits, it may become one of the simplest additions to your morning routine. If this explanation is helping you see gut health from a completely different perspective, consider subscribing. Every week, we explore the latest science behind metabolism, nutrition, healthy aging, and natural strategies that help your body function at its best. Now, let's talk about the spice that has generated growing interest among scientists and functional medicine researchers: cloves. You may know cloves as a fragrant spice used in cooking, tea, or traditional remedies, but inside each tiny dried flower bud are powerful plant compounds, particularly eugenol, along with polyphenols and antioxidants that have been studied for their effects on microbes, inflammation, and oxidative stress. Before we go any further, it's important to be clear about something. Cloves are not a replacement for medical treatment. They will not sterilize your gut, nor should they. In fact, trying to kill all bacteria would be harmful because your health depends on a diverse community of beneficial microbes. The real goal is to discourage the overgrowth of certain harmful bacteria while creating conditions where beneficial organisms can thrive. What the research shows is that compounds found in cloves have demonstrated antimicrobial activity against a variety of unwanted bacteria and certain fungi in laboratory and animal studies. Scientists believe eugenol works by disrupting microbial cell membranes and interfering with the normal function of these organisms. While human studies are still developing, the findings suggest that cloves may serve as a supportive dietary tool rather than a miracle cure. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your gut as a busy city. Most of the residents are hardworking citizens who keep everything running smoothly. But if a small group of troublemakers begins causing problems, the city becomes less efficient. Cloves don't act like a bomb that destroys the entire city. Instead, they appear to make the environment less favorable for some of the troublemakers while allowing the healthy community to recover, especially when combined with good nutrition. Here's what's really going on inside your body. When harmful bacteria become excessive, they can produce toxins and inflammatory compounds that irritate the intestinal lining. This irritation may interfere with digestion, reduce nutrient absorption, and contribute to chronic low-grade inflammation. Over time, that inflammation can affect metabolism, insulin sensitivity, immune function, and even the health of your skin and hair follicles. Adding cloves alone won't solve those problems, but when used consistently as part of an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, they may help support a healthier microbial balance. So how can you use them safely? One simple approach is to add 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground cloves to warm water, herbal tea, or a morning smoothie. Some people prefer sprinkling a small amount into oatmeal or unsweetened yogurt. Another option is combining cloves with cinnamon and ginger, creating a spice blend rich in polyphenols that supports overall metabolic health. The key is moderation. More is not better. Large amounts of cloves or concentrated clove oil can irritate the digestive tract and may interact with blood-thinning medications because eugenol can influence blood clotting. Pregnant women, young children, and anyone with liver disease or those taking anticoagulant medication should speak with their healthcare provider before using clove supplements or consuming large amounts regularly. Remember, the spice itself isn't doing all the work. Think of it as one member of a much larger team. That team also includes a fiber-rich diet, colorful vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, quality protein, regular physical activity, stress management, and restorative sleep. Together, these habits create an environment where beneficial bacteria have the resources they need to multiply naturally. When people focus only on buying another supplement, they often overlook the simple daily habits that have the greatest impact. But when you consistently improve the environment inside your gut, your microbiome becomes stronger, more diverse, and more resilient. And that's exactly what we're aiming for. Not a quick fix, but a healthier internal ecosystem that supports your body for years to come. Now let's connect all of this to something much bigger than digestion. Many people think of the gut as simply a place where food is broken down and nutrients are absorbed. But modern science paints a very different picture. Your gut is one of the most active communication centers in your entire body. It constantly exchanges signals with your immune system, your liver, your brain, your metabolism, and even your hair follicles. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every time you eat a meal rich in dietary fiber, foods like vegetables, legumes, berries, oats, flax seeds, and nuts, your beneficial gut bacteria ferment that fiber and produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate. These molecules act like premium fuel for the cells lining your colon. They help strengthen the gut barrier, reduce unnecessary inflammation, support immune balance, and even improve how your body responds to insulin. Now imagine the opposite. If your diet is dominated by sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates, ultra-processed snacks, and very little fiber, your beneficial bacteria begin to starve. As they decline, less butyrate is produced, while harmful bacteria may multiply. The result is an inflammatory environment that affects far more than your stomach. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your gut as the foundation of a house. If the foundation develops cracks, eventually the walls, roof, windows, and doors all begin showing problems. Repairing the roof alone won't solve the structural damage underneath. Your body works in much the same way. A disrupted microbiome can increase inflammation throughout the body. That chronic inflammation may interfere with insulin signaling, making it more difficult for your cells to use glucose efficiently. As insulin resistance develops, the liver is more likely to convert excess sugar into fat, increasing the risk of fatty liver, weight gain around the abdomen, unstable energy levels, and metabolic dysfunction. Now let's bring hair health into the conversation. Hair follicles are among the fastest growing tissues in the body. To produce strong, healthy hair, they require a constant supply of nutrients, including protein, iron, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin B12, biotin, and essential minerals. If chronic gut inflammation reduces nutrient absorption, your hair follicles may not receive the raw materials they need to remain in the active growth phase. There's also growing scientific interest in what's called the gut skin hair axis. Researchers are investigating how changes in the gut microbiome influence systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, immune regulation, and hormone balance, all factors that may contribute to certain forms of hair thinning. While gut health alone isn't the cause of every hair loss condition, improving your digestive health supports the biological systems that healthy hair depends on. So, what should your daily protocol actually look like? Start your morning with hydration, and if appropriate for you, a small amount of ground cloves as part of a balanced breakfast, not on an empty stomach if it causes discomfort. Build every meal around fiber rich plant foods, quality protein, and healthy fats. Aim to include fermented foods like plain yogurt, kefir, kimchi, or sauerkraut if you tolerate them well. These foods naturally introduce beneficial microbes while also providing nutrients that support the microbiome. Just as important, feed those microbes with prebiotic foods. Garlic, onions, asparagus, oats, bananas, lentils, beans, and Jerusalem artichokes provide the fibers that beneficial bacteria use as fuel. Remember, probiotics introduce bacteria, but prebiotics help them survive and multiply. One without the other is often incomplete. Don't overlook lifestyle factors either. Chronic stress changes the way your gut functions. Poor sleep alters your microbiome composition. Physical activity improves metabolic flexibility and has been associated with greater microbial diversity. Even spending time outdoors and eating a wider variety of whole plant foods can encourage a more resilient microbiome. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. Every week, we break down complex health science into practical, evidence-based strategies you can use to improve your metabolism, protect your gut, support healthy hair, and build long-term vitality, one simple habit at a time.